So I just opened up Final Cut Pro as I'm about to edit this video, and I completely forgot to mention bridal trails and how that went. If anyone cares about it still, I PR'd. I was pretty close to cracking 6 hours in the 50K. That's all I have to say. Also, it was really cold. It was like 20 degrees and I wore pants. Anyway, back to the video. Hi, how's it going? It's April 23rd. So I had every intention of doing just like a dedicated Black Canyon video, like a recap, but given that it's been over 2 months since Black Canyon, I decided that I think today is just gonna be an overall like life update video. In case you don't follow me on Instagram or Strava, I'm just gonna sort of run through Black Canyon really quickly and then just kind of get you guys caught up on what's been going on and plans for spring, summer, fall, and all that. And actually, I had to kind of look through my journal to even remember Black Canyon because it's been so long at this point. Black Canyon. So let's just start from the very beginning of the day. So it was 2 hours late because there was a lot of snow and there was concern for the shuttle drivers to be able to safely transport the runners from the mall to the starting line at the high school. So for their safety, they decided to push back the race 2 hours. And I actually woke up before my alarm went off, and that was the first thing I saw on Instagram. And I texted my friend who was in the first wave, and she goes, I already had my coffee and my bagel. I'm like, well, you better eat some more. And at that point, I was already up. So I ended up eating my cereal, had some coffee. I think I took a nap at one point and then ate some more cereal. That was not like the best start to my day, knowing that the race was 2 hours delayed and now we're gonna have to push like everything 2 hours. Luckily on crew, I had my husband, Eric, and my friends, Melissa, who I ran the 100 miler with, and her husband, Eugene. And Melissa and Eugene were both gonna pace me. So originally I had like 3 people who like offered to crew and pace. 2 of them had dropped out. Eugene, who had already said yes. I was really stoked about that, but I knew I needed one more person. So I was having dinner with Melissa and some trail sisters, and she just basically offered to crew and pace, and I said, yes, please, please, oh, thank you. So get there. They ended up pushing the start for the first wave. So originally there were like 3 waves, but because they kept pushing the race, they actually consolidated to 2 different waves. So my wave was at, I think 9:30. I don't really remember off the top of my head. But anyway, I was in like the later wave. Anyway, we get to the track. It is really, really muddy. And I thought, well, this is basically going to be a testament to the first part of the race. And so we went around the track. I'll throw footage up from Melissa and Eugene.
Remember, Ariel, go out fast, blow up early.
And get around the track. We leave the high school, we go through the neighborhood, we go on this like service road, I guess, and then we head into the desert. And I was not prepared. I don't think anyone was prepared for how muddy it was. When I did describe it to people, it was basically like running through a peanut butter. It was so thick. It only lasted for like 7 miles, but it was probably like the worst 7 miles of a race in my entire life. Once we got past the desert, it was glorious single track. The sun was shining. I was able to really just kind of let loose. And for those of you who don't know, Black Canyon, like it's known for being a pretty fast course. The first like 20 miles is basically a net downhill. And I was advised by multiple people to not go so hard out the first like 20 miles because you have to save your legs for the rest of the race. And so I tried to play pretty conservative. I kept reminding myself, just think cruise pace, just cruise. And honestly, like by the time I hit Bumblebee, which was like mile 19, I was already pretty tired at that point because of all the downhills. I knew something was off. I don't know what it was. I had to run through all the checks. Like, have I had enough salt? When was the last time I had water? The last time I ate? Being able to see my crew, that was something that was also super helpful.
Ariel, how you feeling?
Like shit.
Yeah?
That's the first time. It was just a shit bog out there. There was so much mud. You having fun? Yeah.
Everybody said it was knee deep.
Yeah, it was bad. Look. Look at my legs.
Wow. Definitely making good time though. Feeling strong?
Debatable.
Debatable.
Just because it's all downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing like between like 10 to 12 minute pace, which is...
That's fast.
Yeah, shouldn't be going this fast. But hanging in there. Like 4 miles to the next aid station, right?
Something like that.
after Bumblebee, we had a little bit of a climb up to Gloriana, and I think at that point, that's when I needed music. Because up until this point, so this was about like 20 miles in, I had not turned on my music. Because for me, I really can't listen to music while I'm going downhill, because I know I have to focus on where my feet are going, that way I don't slip and die. So put on some music, and again, it was a very beautiful, gorgeous section. I knew that there were runners behind me because I started picking up pace a little bit and they were kind of nipping at my heels. And I offered, hey, if you want to go ahead, be my guest. And so I let them go ahead. And this was like 20 miles in, like I'm gonna catch them later, maybe. So I knew there were river crossings. I didn't know there were that many, but I did remember to pack like socks in every single drop bag. I had socks that left with my crew just for any situation. Did I change my socks? No. Did I change my shoes? No. Part of it was because I knew that I didn't want to waste time at the aid stations because I just wanted to run a really fast race. Luckily, the river crossings, they washed off all the mud off my shoes, which was very helpful. And then eventually, like, I think I started to perk up heading into Deep Canyon because I knew that I was going to pick up Melissa. And I think like I got my second wind at that point. And so I got into Deep Canyon. I actually ended up changing my shirt.
Get or vest? Probably give me the vest. Okay. Wind hasn't been that bad, so as long as I have this, if I pour some more, I should be fine.
How you feeling?
A lot better now. Hey, that's what I like to hear. Okay.
And I just picked up some more gels and all that. We started going into Deep Canyon, and then honestly, like the stretch between Deep Canyon and Black Canyon City was actually pretty fun. So I was starting to go down. I definitely started to walk a little bit more because there were some like steeper climbs. I knew that I wanted to run as much as possible, and I told Melissa that, but I wanted to still kind of slow down when I felt like it was gonna be beneficial for me. And I swear to God, the section between Black Canyon City and Cottonwood Gulch was like the longest section. It actually was. It was about 10 miles between those two aid stations. It was getting dark. Headlights were coming on. People started slowing down because it was dark. And at this point, she was in front of me, and she is a fantastic pacer. She was able to decipher my whimpering as me being tired and hungry. And she was really good about being like, hey, all right, we're gonna shuffle here. And I'm like, okay, fine. And she just laughed because she knows she's an evil pacer. But I think at that sort of race, when you know you want to push, you need an evil pacer. And her goal was to get me to Table Mates at aid station, which is like mile 51, in like 12 and a half hours. And she did. Lindsay, my coach, was at the aid station waiting for me. And I had met her at bid pickup, and I was really excited, but I was definitely not expecting to see her at mile 51. I don't know if I cried out of exhaustion or just joy of seeing her or what. I'm gonna throw some footage up of just me crying in Lindsay's arms. You can't really see anything because it's really dark, but I'll just throw it up here.
I'm so proud of you. You're amazing. Oh God. I just want to shoot for sub 17 today.
Anyway, so I picked up Eugene, and I told him straight up, dude, I'm gonna put my music on. I don't really want to talk right now. He said, okay, that's fine. And he told me that if I picked up the pace at this point, I could get under 15 hours. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, you know what? If we're gonna throw down, we're gonna throw down. And so basically at that point, everyone had poles. I brought my poles. I didn't even think to get them because I just wanted to get in and get out. And we just were cruising, and there's some steeper sections. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna walk here. He goes, that's fine. At one point, I think we missed a turn, and Eugene was the only one who had the map on his watch, and he basically saved our race. I'll throw out my Strava, and you can see the little section where we kind of got turned around. Luckily, he saved the day. We were probably like a couple miles out from the finish line, and he asked me, do you know how many people you passed? I'm like, I don't know. I lost count. He surmises that we probably passed like 50 people in the last like 11 miles of the race. The craziest thing is that we stopped at the last aid station because I just needed to like stop for like a quick second, just eat some food and then go. All the people that I had passed, they passed me, but then I just started like passing every single one. I think we only had like 2 people pass us or something like that. Really not that bad. Eugene called me an assassin, which is, you know, it's pretty cool. But anyway, so my final time for Black Canyon was 15 hours, 22 minutes, which is actually pretty solid. Honestly, I was just hoping for under 17 hours. That's all I could hope for, because that is a Western States qualifying time. So Western States qualifier, done. And honestly, I just spent like the next week just walking, chilling, eating lots of food. Would I do that race again? I don't know. I mean, the last like 3 miles were like super technical, like you could bust your ankle sort of thing. But I just slowed down when I knew I needed to slow down, and I finished. Yay!
Go get it, Ariel. Finish line of the Black Canyon's 100K. Run like hell.
There you go. Congratulations. You did it.
Ariel!
I don't have my buckle with me. You know what? I'm gonna take you with me to the basement just so you can get a look-see for yourself. And what's actually really cool is that Black Canyon 100K is part of the World Trail Series. So in addition to my buckle, I got a pretty sweet coin, and here it is. So there's my buckle. It's pretty sweet. And then I got a World Trail Major coin. And then there is the Black Canyon 100K logo on it. Technically, I could take the coin out of the case, but I just think it looks pretty cool inside the case. Yay. So things I learned from Black Canyon. I don't need poles unless I know there's a really steep climb, because I mean, I pat them for gorge because there's a decent amount of vert in gorge. It's like 10,000 feet of climbing. I really only used poles the last 13 miles of gorge. Black Canyon, like the climbs weren't that steep, and even the one that I was hyping myself up in the head about, Eugene was like, Ariel, it's like 500 feet over like a mile and a half. You're fine. And actually, going through it, it was just kind of a gentle climb. So I also learned that 300 calories is now a non-negotiable for me for any ultra. I just feel like that's like the sweet spot for calories for me to feel like I can perform at my absolute best. Salt tabs are life. I definitely was enjoying my salt tabs. Also pickle juice shots. Goo, they're one of the sponsors of Black Canyon. They actually had a little booth at the expo. They gave us like a free shot glass, and they were giving us shots of like the Goo Rockton Energy, which is what I drink anyway. I actually took that flask and shoved it in my pack, and I was doing shots of pickle juice at the aid station. Oh my God. Best palate cleanser ever. Foot shield. So foot shield, I've used it for gorge. And I used it for Black Canyon, and I swear to God, like I did not get any like skin blisters on my feet despite all the mud and all of the river crossings and all the dirt that like wormed its way into my shoes. Like my feet were fine. My toenails, that's another story. I ended up getting one pretty gnarly blood blister under my left big toe. It's still healing. I've lost that toenail. This is like the second time I've lost it. Whatever, it's fine. And technical descents are not as scary as before. I think just, you just kind of have to accept the grievance of you're probably gonna roll your ankle, but the more experience you have of running downhill, your feet just kind of know where to go. Your body just knows. I don't know how else to describe it, but if you're a trail runner, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so, since Black Canyon, honestly, like I haven't pinned on a bib since Black Canyon. I've just been kind of vibing. I had signed up for the Running Up for Air challenge, which was supposed to be like a 3-hour thing, but I really didn't have any desire to put on a bib or do any sort of like race effort, anything, even if there was like no prize to be had. And it's actually a good thing that I didn't actually do the challenge, because I actually went out to Tiger that day and I did like part of the course, and there were 30-mile-an-hour winds up top, and I was coming down like West Tiger 1 towards West Tiger 2 and then West Tiger 3, like that whole stretch of trail, and the people at the top, the volunteers, they were pulling down course markings behind me. So I'm really glad I didn't end up doing that. It was a pretty good run. I'm just glad that it wasn't done in the context of a race. So I'm glad I didn't do that. Yeah, I've been volunteering. I volunteered at Lord Hill, which was in like end of February, and I ran that race for like 3 years. I know the drill. I just wanted to volunteer. Also, it's also part of a requirement for being an Orca running / Evergreen Trails ambassador. So knock that out of the way. I volunteered to run the green, and that was actually like a nice shift because it was only like 2.5 hours, because road races run a lot faster than trail races. So I just was hanging out there at the turnaround for the half marathoners, just ringing my cowbell, high-fiving some friends, and that was it. It was glorious. I was dealing with Achilles issues for like a couple weeks, starting like April almost. Let me check my training log, because I know I had logged it at one point. So it was around like mid-March that I started having Achilles issues. And so we kind of backed off. I did some more cross training, and then it started to flare up again. And basically what it boils down to was my work shoes. Lindsay, she had texted me, okay, what's the drop on your running shoes? I'm like, oh, it's like 5mm drop. And I thought about it, and I'm like, oh no, my work shoes. What's the drop on my work shoes? It's 0 drops. So I promptly like disinfected my work shoes. I brought them home. They're gonna be now house slippers, and I ended up getting the Brooks Glycerin shoes for work. Much more cushiony, much more appropriate drop. I mean, actually, I think the Glycerins are like a 10mm drop, and my Hokas are a 5mm drop. Regardless, I haven't had any Achilles problems like since I switched to better work shoes. So yay, love that for me. Let's see what's been going on. Where is my, okay. All right. I've been sort of ramping up my training. I had Tiger Claw and like, when is Tiger Claw? 1, 2. Oh, wow. Tiger Claw 3 weeks away. I haven't done much in the way of vert like since Black Canyon. I had a pretty like decent run on Saturday. I think I got like 5,000 feet of climbing. And my quads are a little bit sore, I think, because it hasn't been used to like climbing. I don't feel completely terrible, but I'm just glad that my legs like sort of remember how to climb. So I have one more long run, like this Saturday. It says 20 miles easy / moderate with good vert. I don't know what good vert means. If she wants, I think I can get like 6,000 feet with my run on Saturday. If Lindsay wants more, I'm sure I can reroute or something. Yeah, so really like the only race I have on the calendar is Tiger Claw. I really don't have anything planned beyond that. Let's talk about plans from like Tiger Claw until like the fall. So Tiger Claw is like the last race I have on my calendar. I might do some shorter races. I haven't decided yet. I have like a few that I have kind of on the calendar are in the back of my mind. I won't say what they are yet, just in case like I don't actually sign up. But there's some races in like August, September I'm thinking about. They're definitely like sub-ultra. I'm not gonna do another ultra after Tiger Claw. But that being said, I'm gonna be crewing and pacing my friend at Cascade Crest. I don't know if it's gonna be the out and back or if it's gonna be the original. I told her, like, listen, I paced like 31 miles last year. If you need me for that, I'm all for it. If you need me for longer, I could be persuaded to go longer. I'm gonna see if I can pace Eugene, because he's doing Oregon 200 in like end of August. I don't know if I can request vacation, because I'm pretty sure that everyone's requested already. And honestly, it might be kind of far, but I think he's understanding that I may or may not be able to come crew, because he has a lot of people who were going to come crew for him and pace him. I offered to crew and pace Melissa at Tianaway, because she's doing Tianaway in September. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This was sort of like a video I kind of threw together at like the last minute, because I wanted to get something out and just to get you all in the know of like why I haven't posted. If you're new, hi, I'm hoping to do some more videos. Like, I'll still do running content, but maybe not solely races, because that's basically like the bulk of my content. Maybe I'll film some like adventure runs. I would like to film crewing and pacing, because I feel like that'd be kind of fun, to be the person on the other side of the race. Oh, that's pretty much it. I love you all. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.